Welcome to a noob's guide to Tehenhauin. This is Tehenhauin, head of the cult of Soteke, except his name, according to the Warhammer manuals, is Teeny Weeny, as in itsy bitsy, teeny weeny, pink and yellow, polka dot bikini. You can understand why CA changed it. It's hard to take a grim dark world seriously when it's filled with overtly offensive pseudo-Mayan names. Teeny Weeny is basically Skink Moses, a prophet to the downtrodden masses. To play him, you simply choose either the Mortal Empires or Eye of the Vortex campaign, it doesn't really matter which, his start position is ridiculously hard on both, and then you scroll over to the Lizardmen to find Teeny Weeny. And then you keep scrolling and select Icket Claw instead. Because in the Prophet and the Warlord DLC, Teeny Weeny here not only got the short end of the stick, it was the poop-covered end. Mechanically, he's supposed to work like a cross between Volkmar the Grim and Skarsnik, fielding large numbers of devout but crappy units, but he only brings one new skink unit with him in the DLC. Skinks with great weapons. You know they're skinks because they're low-class teases dressed in brightly colored clothing who spend most of their lives on their backs. Wait, that's skanks. But since Teeny Weeny only has one new skink unit, it doesn't do enough to make the Skink King unique. His whole shtick becomes being a skirmishing army, and with the new Salamanders unit, you can actually halfway pull it off. They're a highly mobile artillery. You can move them around to the side of units and fire in, but they don't do as much damage as you think they would. And if you leave them in melee for too long, they'll drop faster than a skink's pants. No, that's skanks. Why do I keep confusing the two? They're sort of like dragoons from Napoleon and Empire Total War. It's just kind of hard to figure out what to do with them. Teeny Weeny's other new units are sort of boring. An ancient Stegodon, except now it gets a laser cannon on its back. It does its best impression of the orbital cannon from Gears of War, which is friggin' cool, but you only get to use it twice in a battle. And the Bastillodon with the Ark of Soteke, which farts out snakes, so, that's pretty fun. But both of them are meant to address the problem that battles for the Lizardmen just turn into these molasses-long slogs, where you have one high hit point monster taking up all the damage while skinks run around the outside and harass them like 3-year-olds at a candy shop. But still, it always comes down to the monsters. Teeny Weeny's campaign brings out the worst in the game. In your early turns, you'll be ping-ponged back and forth across your lands to the opposite ends of your empire to try and catch raiding lords. And because Lizardmen units are so expensive and their economies so weak, you don't have enough money to field a second army capable enough of actually countering them. And if you do happen to catch them, the auto-resolve seems to think about as much about the new skink units as I do. It's never fun to see your all-skink advanced army die to an army of level 1 Tomb King units. And if you do happen to finally chase them off of your lands, you can settle in for 20 to 30 turns of whack-a-mole, courtesy of your friendly neighborhood Skaven. All the while fending off hobo panhandling messages because these guys refuse to get a real job. The redeeming factor in all of this is supposed to be Teeny Weeny's new sacrifice mechanic, where at the end of battles you can take captives that can then be spent as a currency on unique buffs and unlocking regiments of renown. Drawing inspiration from Apocalypto, you perform mass sacrifice to summon your serpent god. But the reality is disappointingly benign. Underwhelming buffs that last for 10 turns and feel like just neutered versions of cool spells. Melly Gibbs would be disappointed at the missed opportunity for a bloodbath. And the process of gaining captives and unlocking them is so painstakingly long that I actually nearly gave up on making this video. And it took me 2 Sherpas and a mountain goat just to get far enough into the campaign to finally use the Invocation of Soteke. After 90 turns of this, you finally get to use the spell in battle. But when you do click it, this awesome serpent rises out of the ground and knocks everybody flat. And then they get right back up again. I mean, what the actual hell? It's built like a pyramid, so you assume as you go up higher, you're finally going to get one supreme awesome ability. But as is, it's less powerful than a Stegodon with an engine of the gods mounted on it. I mean, if it's something you're working towards for 95 turns, you really expected a bit more of a punch. But I can't really blame Soteke. I mean, as some snakes get older, they need a little extra help to really get up in the mornings. It wouldn't be so bad if Icket Claw hadn't been given the Doom Rocket, which would have completely wiped out everything on the map. It's really not even fair to compare them. If I had to rate Teeny Weeny on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being Godzilla, and 1 being the N64 classic Gex the Gecko, Ugh. I'd give Teeny Weeny the turtle you find in the middle of the road on this back. You just feel bad for it, and you want to go and pick it and turn it back over again and let it crawl off and be happy somewhere else. But you know if you do, it's just as likely to get hit by a car. I can't help but think Teeny Weeny's campaign would have been a lot more enjoyable if I hadn't played Icket Claws first. It just did so much right and was so much fun. And it's a testament to the poor state of affairs in the current Lizardmen army, where even adding a new sacrifice mechanic doesn't do enough to shake up a somewhat boring campaign. If you watch the last Everchosen tournament, you'll notice that Lizardmen basically got raffle stomped the entire time, so I'm not alone in this. Teeny Weeny fails to capitalize on what makes the Lizardmen interesting to begin with: giant dinosaurs shooting laser beams. While a skink army sounds fun in concept, all you can think the entire time you're playing with them is, I can't wait till I can replace these skinks with actual awesome things. And if you want to play as Skink Moses and lead your people out of the desert, just watch the 10 Commandments. Thanks for watching. You'll notice this new series has a bit of a different tonality to it, so if you like it, awesome. If you don't like it, I'm sure you'll make sure I know about it. And if you have a suggestion about any other lords or any other games even that I can try this with, leave it below. Thanks for watching.